Welcome to week 6 of LIBS 501, Applying and Acknowledging. This week for our to-do list, we have our week 6 instructor video. We have a video on quoting, paraphrasing, and summarization, as well as an article that is looking at incorporating sources into research. For supplemental and non-required materials to look through, we have a video on the basics of citing and referencing in APA 7. We have another video on the basics of APA in-text citations, a Scribner article about in-text citations looking at multiple authors as well as missing information, and another short article on source integration examples. Also, we do have information from the APA Style Guide online. Again, make sure you look at those that document listed in the Brightspace page for those links. This week, we'll be looking at the basic principles of citations, parenthetical versus narrative in-text citations, paraphrases, and quotations. As a reminder, the numbers in the parentheses corresponds to the section of the physical publication manual if you would like to look at that. Assignments due for this week, we have our Incorporating Sources and In-Text Citations assignment, round 1, as well as our Challenges of Incorporating Sources post. So this week we are looking at the final two steps of information literacy, so applying and acknowledging. So for applying, we are incorporating information found into a specific project, and for acknowledging, we're crediting that original source of information. So in-text citations. What are in-text citations? These are a reference made within the body of a text alerting the reader to a source that has informed your work. This will include the author's last name, the date of publication, and the page number. This is used for direct quotes, paraphrasing, and summarization. So first we have parenthetical citations. Here is where the author's name and publication date are not mentioned within the text. Instead, that they appear within the parentheses after the information is presented. So as you can see here in my example, we give the information, and at the very end, but before the period, we do have Picton et al., who is our author, our comma, the year of publication, our close parentheses, and then our period. So what this is telling the reader is this citation is for the sentence that comes directly before it. Now, a narrative citation is where the author's name appears within the running text. Also, the date will appear immediately after the author's name. Also, the name should appear within the sentence where it's most logical. So for our example, we have participants in the study by Picton et al., 2018, shared different content on social media sites, etc., etc. So here we can see that the Picton et al., so our authors, is very natural in that flow of the sentence, and the year of publication is listed directly behind the author. Additional few notes for in-text citation. So when using a parenthetical citation, the end of the sentence punctuation comes after the parentheses. So again, you want to have the parentheses and then the period to end off that sentence. Also, when providing a direct quote, the order of punctuation is quotation marks, parentheses, and then that ending period. So again, for our example, we are seeing the high performance along another, we close off that quotation mark, we begin our open parentheses with Irvin et al., our comma, 2018, page 470, we close our parentheses, and then we end with a period. So for our first assignment for this week, we are incorporating sources and in-text citations, and this will be the first of 2 rounds. So for this assignment, we are going to write at least 2 paragraphs of your essay, which has been assigned from another outside graduate nursing course. And within your writing, include at least 2 academic sources utilizing in-text citations. Your paragraphs cannot be the introduction or conclusion of your paper, but instead must be part of the body of your essay. Also, please provide a reference list page listing out the sources used within this assignment. All sources must be in APA style and listed in alphabetical order. You do not need to include a title page for this round of the assignment. So what I'm looking for this assignment is how are you using your in-text citations? Are you incorporating your sources nicely within your narrative? And I'll be providing feedback for that. For the points, it is a 50-point assignment, 15 points for your writing style, 25 points for your parenthetical documentation, so these are your in-text citations, and then 10 points for your citations and reference list formatting. So this rubric is listed both on the instructions document and within the assignments folder. So materials to look through for this week, we have our week 6 instructor video, a video on quoting, paraphrasing, and summarization, as well as an article of incorporating sources into your research. For supplemental materials, we have the basics of citing and referencing in APA 7, another video on the basics of APA in-text citations, an article from Scribner of APA in-text citations looking at the multiple authors as well as missing information, and an article that's looking at source integration examples. Also, make sure to look at the APA style guide either online or in the physical form. Our assignments for this week, first we have our incorporating sources and in-text citations round 1. So again, write at least 2 paragraphs using at least 2 sources, include in-text citations, and write in APA style. This assignment is due on Thursday. And then we have our discussion post of the challenges of incorporating sources. So here we're going to discuss the challenges and struggles of in-text citations and incorporating sources. Remember to respond to at least 2 of your classmates, with the initial post being due on Thursday and your class responses due on Sunday. If you have any questions, please reach out. You can meet either one-on-one virtually or by just emailing. I look forward to seeing your guys' paragraphs and giving you guys feedback as we start working through kind of incorporating all of those sources that we have found into these assignments. Have a great week.